Hi, and welcome in another episode of Reading in English with Ella. Hi, Ella.
Hi, Jędrek.
Ella is my intermediate student who is courageous enough to read books, whole books, not just short text, but whole books in English. Not necessarily in the original, as not all our books are written by English speakers, but definitely English translations count. In this episode, we are going to talk about a book for the summer. That's why the sunglasses we are wearing. Uh, this time, we want to talk about a book by Delphine de Vigan. It's a French author, but the book has been successfully translated into English, and the title is Kids Run the Show. Ella,
Exactly.
you read the book. The floor is yours. Tell me, how did it feel? What do you think about the book? And is it edible? Is it understandable at
Mhm.
your level?
The book in the original was written in French, but you, Jędrek, recommended the English translation to me. And to be honest, I must say that it's very accessible. From my perspective, if I think about language perspective,
Hmm.
it can be read by intermediate person. Uh, why? First of all, because there is a daily language, a lot of
Yes.
dialogues and descriptions of everyday life, YouTube, social media.
Yeah, and this is
Uh,
the kind of yeah, we haven't even mentioned what is the book about, but yes, exactly. It's very contemporary.
yeah,
It features
modern.
Ella, so let's start by saying a few words about what is the book about? What is the story about?
Okay, I want to say about it at the end, but
All right.
okay.
Why? Whatever you like.
Okay, maybe I can come back to language,
Mhm.
and later I can say
Great.
about
Yeah,
the story a
let's do
few
it. Let's
words.
do it. Yeah,
Um,
this is after all what we are most into, because we try and read books that are accessible for intermediate learners. Come on, Ella. How did it feel?
uh,
How do you find the language of the book?
okay, we have a modern vocabulary that
Hmm.
we know today from social media. I mentioned it. The plot is very visual. It's easy to understand what's going on,
Hmm.
even if you don't know all the words, because you can imagine this situation.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
in my opinion, this situation is de- described very clearly.
Hmm.
But of course, it's not too easy all in this book. What can make it difficult?
Hmm.
I think that sometimes we have psychological reflections and emotional reflections, and I must to say that sometimes I have problem with these words from
Hmm.
psychological,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
to be honest, it's not too much. Some sentences are long and more complex, but also it's not too complex, because if you focus on these sentences, you can understand
I'd say,
everything.
Ella, this is the beauty of the context. If you have a book that that let's say lasts, I don't know, 400 pages. How long is that book? No, sorry, it's 300. It's like a standard book, but this is a longer text, and that means that you are constantly in some sort of a context. There's always context, and that context is helping a lot. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
if they talk about some psychological things, or you basically, as long as you are in the game, as long as you know what is the story about, then you are fine, even if there are occasional words that you don't understand.
Yes, I agree, because sometimes if you read a Polish book, uh,
Hmm.
especially psychological,
Hmm.
also you can meet
Yeah,
different
yeah,
difficult
absolutely.
words. But I think that the most important is the story, because the story is very interesting. It touches on modern problems of our privacy,
Yes.
social media,
Yes.
and the plot draw you in and motivates you to continue reading. Uh, and for me, it's very important because I wanted to know everything about this situation, and I wanted to read over and over again.
Hmm. 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 Yeah, I mean that book. It's kind of scary and entertaining at the same time,
Yes,
because the let's say the once again, context is very contemporary. It's a YouTuber. It's some kind of an obsessive YouTuber, a mom who's filming her children,
yeah,
and who's actually exposing her whole life. And she's a very popular YouTuber, vlogger. She's super rich, but at the same time, her life, well, it gets ruined, right? By
yes.
that, it's like,
And I want to add that for me, it's more psychological information and
mhm,
emotions,
mhm.
not a secret about kids
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. Because
about
there's yeah,
plot.
because the children at one point disappear. There's an
Yeah.
investigation going on, and so on, of course. But you're absolutely right. That psychological side of what it's like to be a super popular YouTuber and pato streamer. I don't know
Yes, and
what's the
why
name for that.
why people want to show everything
Hmm.
in private life?
Yes,
For me, it's very interesting because
yes.
it's beyond my understanding, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what makes this book really a great read. So the language is accessible, the story is great. What about the structure, Ella? Are there moments where we can sort of, stop the reading for a moment and then come back later? What about the
Um,
chapters?
Chapters sometimes are long, but we
Hmm.
have under chapters.
Or sub chapters? I don't know what they're called.
Yes,
Yeah.
sub chapters. So I think that it's not no problem to stop reading. But I want to return that the plot grab you, and you want
Hmm.
to read all time. To be honest,
Yes. Yeah, you're
if
on
you
instant. Yeah,
start.
yeah. That is, the book has a quality of a page turner. It means that, hey, what's next?
Yeah,
What's next? And what's on the what happens next? Yeah, it's great. Uh, we've got only strong points here. A great story, written in accessible language or translated very nicely. Although neither you nor me have read the original.
and modern problem.
Yes.
And modern vocabulary. I think that it's
Yes.
also
Yeah,
important.
that makes the book really easy to swallow. Plus the structure is also not so bad. You can basically take a break. We know that reading in a foreign language takes more energy, so you have to consume that in smaller bits than you would normally in your native language. All right, great, Ella.
I think that it's a good choice for the vacations.
Yeah, I
Vacation
mean, it's
and
for the beach. This is a book for the beach.
yes,
You take it, you read it, and you kill two or even more birds with one stone. And that means you have definitely fun reading that. Plus, your language is growing. Great. Thanks a lot. That was Kids Run the Show by Delphine de Vigan. The original title is, I think, Les enfants sont rois, which translates as Children Are Kings. But the translation is Kids Run the Show. Thanks a lot, Ella, and I'm waiting for the next book that we are going to read together.
after summer.
All right.